Okay, hi guys, it's me again, Els. Today we are looking at the reverse isolation. So this is the trick. It's basically the same as our forward isolation, but you guessed it, the other way around. So to remind ourselves of the basics, we're going to replant into our mind that imaginary square around the hoop that the hoop is going to stay within. And to help us keep the hoop within this imaginary square or the steering wheel position, we're going to remind our muscles and our muscle memory of that bend in the elbow that comes as we reach between the 2 and 10 o'clock mark on our hoop. To help us get this back into our brains, we can just drill that jump as we release and re-grip with our hands at the top there. So just taking it forwards and backwards, it doesn't really matter which way around, just practicing this. And the reason we do this is because usually when we start to train a new isolation trick, we start to lock our arms and it becomes a bit straight and then the hoop starts to run away from us. If this happens, just remind yourself of the square, pull it back and bring your attention to your shoulders. Breathe and just relax any tension that you're bringing in there and remembering to bend that elbow. Once you've got this down, practice exactly the same thing on the other side, and again, don't worry if it's more difficult on this side. The reverse isolation takes a little bit longer for you to build up the strength or the mobility in your shoulder, so be kind and gentle and take it slowly. Remembering whenever we're doing reverse isolations, we're following our thumb, and when we're going forward, we are following our pinky. Nice, so now you've got this down, guys. You can put it all together, practicing nice and slowly at first, and then speeding it up and switching directions, so dancing between your forward and your reverse isolation, so all of these movements become automatic. Congratulations! Now moving on to the next step, which is going to be grip changes. So grip changes are just a way for you to get really comfortable switching between forward and reverse motion isolations. This is helpful for when you're in middle of flow and you want to change direction or move the hoop from one side of your body to the other without having to concentrate on how to swap your hands out whilst keeping the hoop moving in the same direction. It's a little bit confusing. Don't get too caught up on the language. The main thing to focus on is to just try not to get your arms tangled up on each other like I'm doing now. And a really good way to avoid this is to just get used to planting the hand that's going to be taking over the movement in front of the hand that's currently on the hoop. So just forget about whether it's forward or reverse and focus on the direction that the hoop is traveling. Whichever direction it's traveling in, this is where your hand is going to land. It can be underneath or on top of the hand already on the hoop, and it doesn't matter whether you're starting off in a forward or reverse motion. Sometimes you'll get a bit stuck like this, and if that happens, don't worry. You can go right back to basics if you like and practice the grip changes without a hoop. So first of all, just practice tracing the hoop with the grip change and then the idea of switching across. So twisting your hands on top of each other, palm to the sky, and then palm to the hoop. And don't worry if you get confused. And then changing which hand goes on top and which hand goes underneath. Once you got this down, pick your hoop back up and put it all together. If it's a little bit sticky at first, don't worry, just go back to that idea of switching your hands and keeping contact with the back of one hand on the other hand will eventually make it really easy for you to come into this natural progression. And it will look like your hands are floating around the hoop or the hoop is floating around the hands. And there you've got another nice little illusion trick to play with all of your isolations. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.